Peace be with you. I'm the melody in your ear. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Hold me against the dark. I will never run for cover. Oh, how it feels to love. Oh, how it feels to live forever. Leave the world behind. In the darkness I lead. I'm the eye of all seeing. I'm the god of your heap. In between the worlds we fly. I'm a sentient being. I'm the thoughts that you keep. I'm the hope who you seek. Leave the world behind. How does it feel to be young? How does it feel to be alone? How does it feel to breathe? How does it feel to be
A reflection of eternity. A bond forever and beyond. eternity. A bond forever and beyond.
Pictures of you without me. Tears right now, it's time to leave. Won't let you take all the blame. There's nothing to fix if we stay. Pictures of you without me. Tears right now, it's time to leave. Won't let you take all the blame. There's nothing to fix if we stay. Pictures of you without me. There's nothing to fix if we stay. Pictures of you without me. Tears right now, it's time to leave. Won't let you take all the blame. There's nothing to fix if we stay.
motherfucking trailer.
Would you like to see Gorosaurus versus Man, the solo trilogy from Toho? No, I would not, because nobody gives a shit about those two monsters. So let's be real, honestly. With the exception of a handful of Toho monsters, a lot of them really suck.
Whatever it takes to stop the motherfucking lie.
Look at this guy's got glasses. Oh, a sophisticated zombie.
I heard Rodan's in here. I don't know if I don't know if I missed him.
I missed Rodan. On top of the volcano, I missed Rodan. Flying over the water, I missed Rodan. He's been confirmed, established 2014, right here on E.T.N motherfucking N.
I have only ever loved one woman. And it ain't you, bitch. Poof. Bye-bye. Have a nice trip. See you next fall, because winter's coming.
I figured, I thought it was pretty good. I thought I liked it. I enjoyed it. And number one is Godzilla. Godzilla?
Motherfucking trailer.
Oh boy. Hi guys. I know it's been a while. What is this, like my 50th comeback this year? I'm all about the comebacks, but not the sustains. '69th? Okay. I gotta get used to this angle myself. It's only the second time I've used it. All right, can you guys hear me okay? You know how after a long hiatus, how my equipment tends to kind of reset. So I'm assuming you guys can hear me okay. Clearly? Okay, good. Good. No, I did not get a new camera. I've had this camera for a while now. I just changed the position. That's all. I wanted to try something new. But I still got to tinker with it. There's a lot of weight on the arm, so I might have to replace the arm. But for the most part, it's pretty good where it is. So, and it's just different now because I got you guys in chat here, but I got my YouTube screen over here. So, but it doesn't make sense to look at chat. Doesn't make sense to look at chat over here if the camera's here. So, you know, we're working it out. We're working it out. All right. Obviously, you guys know that this has kind of been a bit of a rough year, which is why I've been so in and out of doing YouTube. You know, come back for a stream or two, disappear for a month, come back doing videos earlier this year for like 3 months, then drop off the face of the earth again. So, and yeah, I mean, you guys know, I've told you before, most of the reason is because it's kind of hard to get into a mode of entertaining and kind of being funny and just talking about things when, you know, you're a bit on the strug, you know what I mean? I do have a job now. That helps a lot. That pretty much solves all the problems. So that drought is finally over, which makes it much easier to come back on here and do this on a regular basis because I guess it's funny. I think some people would think of it different. They would say, okay, I'm not working right now, so let me do YouTube and make as much money as I can. Where for me, it's more like my number one focus should be nothing but looking for work. So doing YouTube is just going to be a waste of time right now, especially considering some of the time sink, especially like for more of my better videos I did earlier in the year, the ones that were nicely edited and well scripted and stuff like that. Those take a lot of time, and putting that kind of time sink into multiple videos a week when I'm not working just didn't sit right with me. You know what I mean? So yeah. Am I working for Trump now? I wish. You could have asked Lenny to fill in for me. Believe me, there's no way I could have pulled off a Lenny during this year. Not with the mood that I was in. So that means you will see much more of me now, because now I feel more comfortable doing this now. I feel more at ease. I feel like I can enjoy it more because I don't have to worry about trying to make it something I do for money as opposed to just something I enjoy doing in general. So yeah. Obviously the video count will probably be a minimum because to pull off the kind of videos I was doing earlier this year, which were doing really good, I don't think I have the time to do like 3 or 4 of those a week. Maybe definitely one, maybe 2. So we'll see where that goes, but definitely going to come back to streaming on a regular basis at least. So plus on top of that, up until recently, there really hasn't been much to talk about in terms of Godzilla. You know what I mean? Like we had a dry spell for a while there. It was pretty dry. So, all right, let me catch up with you guys in chat real quick, and then we'll get started. We'll talk about Minus Zero. I sound amazing. Well, thank you. I hope so. I hope I sound better. Let me see. Yes, I'm employed. Yep. Thank you. Oh, nice. Right on. That's great news. It is. Yeah. You can shoot me an email later, of course. I got your message the other day. I'm sorry I didn't on Twitter. Sorry I didn't get back to you. Just like I said, I've been so focused on taking care of business, and I started work this week. So it was a hectic week this week because I had an issue with my car. It wasn't a major issue. I just needed a new battery. So we had 2 days this week. I had to leave my kids home from school because we only had one car and I had to use it to get to work. So, and then on top of that, I had a bit of I don't want to say it was a scare initially, but it was nothing as bad as I was afraid it might have been. But I had to go to the doctor earlier this week because I had a problem with my I don't know how to put this. I guess I'll just say it in layman's terms. I had a problem with my urine stream. It was very weak, and that was concerning for me because I know for like over the last year I haven't had any medical insurance and I haven't had any medication for my diabetes. So I know my diabetes has kind of been running wild, and one of the side effects of neural damage caused by diabetes is it can cause you to not, it can cause your urinary tract to not function correctly. So I was like peeing, but then it didn't feel like I got everything out. I didn't feel like I had to pee all the time. That would be a UTI. So I didn't have a urinary tract. Anyway, long story short, I went to the doctor, nothing serious, but it was because my blood sugar was high. So fortunately, thanks to Trump, medication is a lot cheaper now. So I was able to get back on my medication without insurance, and it didn't break the bank. So that's all taken care of. So I got my medicine now. Otherwise, I mean, everything else has been cool. There are some other things I know I wanted to work on once I got back to work in terms of being, creating content, not just for the channel, but you guys remember I had that idea about the Awakening of Beast. So now that I have a job, that's probably going to be my first goal, is to complete that series. I hate how in the past I've always come up with these great ideas and I've never executed on them. This is one I refuse to give up on, but I know I needed money in order to make at least an investment in the project so I could use the tools I needed to make it. So now that I'm working, that's like my number one priority, is to really do that. So, and I think I'm going to go back to the AI approach. In the last year, from the time I came up with the idea, AI has gotten a lot better. Primarily the big thing, my big concern the first time doing it with AI was not getting the consistent look for the characters per every shot that I want, because of the fact that AI is kind of funny like that. But now that can be done with ease. There's a AI program where you can actually create a character and it'll keep the look consistent throughout the whole project you're working on. So that right there was the only barrier that I had, and now that I can do that, I'm good to go. So that's going to be, yeah, Sora is insane. I'm not using Sora, but Sora is insane. Yeah, Sora is scary good. You guys seen those chiropractor shorts? Oh, those are funny. Yeah. Rob, grandfather has been in hospital, not doing well. I've been visiting him a lot. Hope you and the family are doing okay. I hope your grandfather's doing okay. Yeah, I mean, the family's fine. I mean, look, it's been a rough year. We've kept it together. I honestly, thinking about it now, I don't know how the hell we got through that. That's the longest drought I've ever had unemployed. The downfall is that's kind of starting from scratch now. All my money that I had saved up before is gone. Sucks. I built a nice little, and this is money we had even after we bought the house. We had a nice little nest egg. I had all these plans. I fenced the yard and all this, and that all had to go by the wayside so we could continue to just, groceries, bills, stuff like that. You saw when Mario get pulled over? Yeah. All right, so now I didn't get to watch. I saw when they were live, but I didn't watch the Godzilla Fest in Japan because it was late and it was in Japanese, obviously, so I really couldn't understand what they were talking about. But I did see the short with Burning Millennium Godzilla. I did see the short. Anybody have any clue what that monster might be? I thought they were going to reveal it there and they were going to fight. I guess it's going to be a cliffhanger till next year. That's a long wait for a short.
You are one awesome motherfucker. Lonely Kaiju super chatted $10. Hi Rob. Very happy you're doing a lot better and things are looking up for you.
I appreciate that, Lonely, and thanks for the 10. Yeah. I'm happy. No better time of the year to get a job than right before Christmas. Christmas would have been a downer if I hadn't started working. So, also, guys, just so you know, I tend to mention, but I want to start mentioning it now because I know I'm going to start streaming on a regular basis, and I kind of want to get ahead of it because you guys always know whenever you drop donations and super chats, I always appreciate it. But I also want you to know that when you super chat, your 60% of your money goes to YouTube and the government. I only get 40%. So don't forget, the link is always in the description or it's pinned to the top. You can actually drop a dono up there, and that you're all, whatever you decide to donate goes directly to me. I don't have to worry about YouTube taking a cut. So don't forget those links. I know I haven't mentioned it in a long time, even in my more recent streams over the past couple of months, but always try to encourage you guys to use those links because you don't want to give 60% of your money away. If you're generous enough to donate me $5, $10, $2, you don't want 60% of that getting cut out of it. So keep that in mind. Those links are always there. They've never gone anywhere. Maybe the new monster from Godzilla Galaxy manga. Space Biolante. Yeah, how come all of you other streams are unlisted again? I didn't catch if you already answered. I gotta check. I know some of them, depending on the music I use, they'll get blocked worldwide. Although I don't remember using any mainstream music that would get blocked worldwide. Oh, actually, you know what? I did unlist all my streams from the past. I forgot why I did that. Anyway, I'll unlist them. But yeah, I actually manually unlisted all my streams from before. Why did I do that? There was a reason for it, but I can't remember. Crazy how it's 60% now. Well, technically it's 30%, but the reason I tell people it's 60% because it actually is. The only difference is it's not YouTube taking 60%. They're taking 30, then whatever's left over, whatever's left over, like let's say for example, he just donated 10. So $3 of that 10 will go to YouTube. Then I get the 7, but then I got to pay tax on that 7. So then another 3, or rather, let me see, that would be 30%. So like another 250 or so goes to the government. So instead of him donating me 10 like he wanted to, he's actually donating me like 450. Where if you do it through the link, I think only like 10 cents per, I think it's like 20 cents per every 5 gets taken as the transaction fee from PayPal, and then I get the rest. So yeah, that's why, because I know whenever I watch a stream, I never super chat because I don't like the idea of giving that much money away when I'd rather give all of it to the person I'm supporting. So would you think Toho should make Godzilla TV show with those suits? They can do the same way they did and short but weekly instead of yearly. I think it would be better if they did, like, because TV show, it would be exclusive to Japan. I don't think Godzilla's as big in Japan as he is worldwide. I think if they did like webisodes, like if they did like 5 or 10 minute shorts every week using all the old Godzilla suits and all the old monster suits, yeah, I think they could get a lot of, or do it on YouTube and monetize it. They probably make back. Let me see if they're doing a little short. I don't know. I guess it depends how much is invested in something like that lasts about 5 to 7 minutes. If they could do something like that and they get enough views where they can get at least a return on their investment with a small profit, I wouldn't see why they'd want to do it. How dare YouTube for not notifying me when you're live? Well, to be fair, I'm so inconsistent right now. YouTube algorithm looks at me and just goes, pfft. You know what I mean? Like YouTube algorithm does not like my channel. So came back from Japan like 2 days ago. There are tons of Godzilla merch, especially in Tokyo. Yeah, that's all geared towards the tourists for sure, especially around this time of the year with the Godzilla Fest. Yeah, no, I'm like, again, you guys know how I am with it. I don't ask for tips. I don't expect tips. I'm just letting people know that if they have a moment of generosity and they want to donate, they're better off using the link that I left in the description so that 60% of their money is not getting eaten up. I am excited for Stranger Things, but it looks like it's going to be like an action movie now. Oh, so somebody else here went to Japan? Yeah, so, all right, so now we got the official confirmation that Godzilla Minus One is getting a sequel. Godzilla Minus Zero, interesting title. The first thing I thought about when I saw the title was nuclear winter. I mean, because Godzilla dropped at least 3 nukes in that movie. The one in the city and then twice in the ocean, right? And they did kind of his atomic breath did have the effect of a nuclear bomb, essentially. So that could be one thing. I guess my other question is, did we ever get any confirmation of a second monster being in this movie? I thought there was, I don't know if there was a confirmation, but I kind of felt like it was kind of rumored. Any word on that? Is there going to be another monster, or is it still just rumor? Not yet. All right. There are theories, right? Yeah. Yeah, I keep hearing people saying it's Hedorah because of the 2 zeros, and then somebody matched the eye. I mean, it's kind of a, I don't want to be a dick. It's kind of a stupid way to kind of overanalyze a picture, but I guess. And the fact that the G looks like his body. Whatever, I guess. We'll find out. Warsu thinks it's Mothra appearing in Minus Zero. It's not a horrible theory. Mothra is one of the more popular kaiju aside from Godzilla. The G looks the same to me as -1. Very similar, but there are some differences. If you put them side by side, you'll be able to see it. It hasn't been said, but with the budget being increased and the fact the film is being shot in 2 different locations, then it's possible. But I would reserve judgment until we know more. Yeah, for sure. You're more excited for Minus Zero or Supernova? I'm just excited that we got some fucking news. Like seriously. It's kind of hard to be excited for Supernova right now because we're not really going to hear much about it until starting next year. And Godzilla Minus Zero, they didn't give a release date, did they? But I'm assuming it's going to be around the same kind of trajectory as -1. So it's likely, well, yeah, no, -1 comes out next year. Minus Zero comes out next year, right? Because it's got to come out before the next Monsterverse movie. Yeah, so obviously I'm going to be more excited for Minus Zero right now because it's closer down the pipeline than Supernova. Around the same -1 release date. Yeah, so that's much closer to us. Which means in the States we'll be getting it late next year, early 2027, before the release of Supernova. Then we get Monarch Season 2 next year, hopefully. Yeah, I know, right? What the fuck happened to that? I thought for sure it was going to come out this fall, and nope. Here we are already a week into November, and we haven't heard a goddamn thing about it. Just letting you know, I am not on Facebook anymore. I got rid of it back in September. I'm still on Discord and X if you need to chat. All right. You having too many problems with, because I remember you told me you had gotten hacked recently, right? Yes, King of G-Man fans, Rob, back again, missed you, man. Yeah, thanks, Super. Appreciate that. Pretty much the same thing would happen with -1 and the New Empire. Yeah, so what happened to the Disney King Kong show? Shh. Don't say anything. We don't want them. We don't want Disney to remember. Warsaw has been spamming rumors for Supernova, saying there is a Space Godzilla, then there isn't, then there is, so I have been ignoring it. Well, I think if you notice Warstu's channel, like, he talks about all different stuff, but he gets the most views on his Godzilla stuff. So I think he's kind of stuck. So he's got to make content for that. Again, if you're doing YouTube to try and make money, you got to make content at least every other day. I mean, I'm sure Dangerville was super excited to have something to record regarding Godzilla because I saw his I didn't watch the video, but I saw his video pop up doing the breakdown of the trailer, which I thought was insane because I saw that little trailer and I'm like, what is there to break down? Like, so, but that's how it is, man. I mean, when you got content to drop, you got to drop it and make something of it. War Stew's dumbass posted my April Fool's joke as a video. Which was that? I missed that. I wonder if it's okay if I can have my fan theories of Godzillasaurus who goes from to another and to Godzilla. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Okay, yeah, I figured that's what the reason was, Steve. Why did you put Tom Cruise laughing in your Space Godzilla pitch thumbnail for Godzilla vs. Kong New Empire? Is it because you think the idea of Space Godzilla has any fans ridiculous? Not that I think the idea that he has fans is ridiculous. I think the idea of him in a Monsterverse is ridiculous. Like, it doesn't. I see when I like break down certain things regarding like the Monsterverse or Godzilla and why certain things might or might not happen. I kind of look at it from a business perspective. So I try to put myself in the position of the production team. And if I want to invest money to bring over one of Toho's creations, I'm going to want to bring over a creation that is the most recognizable and that can give me the best chance of selling some tickets for a nostalgia bait. Space Godzilla does not fit that category. He's only ever been in one movie, and up until a couple of years ago, he was never very popular. That's not to say he didn't have fans, but he was not popular. He's popular now because everybody swears up and down that when they saw that picture in the Godzilla art book for, what was it, Godzilla vs. Kong? And they were talking about the monster that ate the star, everybody thought that was Space Godzilla. And then everybody forgot that in New Empire, they confirmed that that's actually Godzilla that they're referring to about the monster that ate the star. So there's been no evidence. There's been no evidence even in the teaser trailer that there's going to be a Space Godzilla or anything from space. So if I'm making another Godzilla movie and I want to make money and I'm going to invest a couple $1 million to bring in a creation that I essentially have to further recreate to give it a more modern look, I'm not just going to pick any monster. And then on top of that, if I'm a businessman on the production team, I look at what happened when I took 3 of the most popular monsters from Toho, that being Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, and it's the one film in my franchise that is a financial flop. So if their top 3 monsters didn't turn a profit, what's the chance that Space Godzilla out of nowhere is going to turn a profit? And that is how I gauge whether the whole Space Godzilla in the movie theory is true or not, or has any weight to it. Nobody seems to think of it that way. So now with that said, have I been wrong? Of course, because I said many times years ago, and everybody here will tell you, I never thought Mechagodzilla could work in the Monsterverse. Kudos to them, they made it work. With a caveat. The caveat is that Mechagodzilla was not the primary villain in Godzilla vs. Kong, and he was only shown for a total of maybe 3 minutes in the whole movie. If you had made a movie dedicated to Mechagodzilla being the primary villain throughout the movie, I think you have and I think that's why they did it the way they did it. I think they knew, all right, a giant robot Godzilla, and we'll have to explain the whole purpose of building him like this, and this. But if we have everybody's attention on this big old 50-year in waiting fight between 2 of the most popular monsters on the silver screen, and then we give them a reason to team up, because despite what people say, the idea of Godzilla and Kong teaming up is just extraordinary. So to make it better, especially for those hardcore Godzilla fans, Why not have them team up against Mechagodzilla? We'll put them in there as a little Easter egg at the end. Everybody leaves happy, and nobody's none the wiser to the fact that we just used a 300-foot metal Godzilla, which makes no sense anatomically to build a robot like that if you're trying to fight another monster. That's how these things work. I still think Gigan would be more likely to be picked by Legendary for a potential movie, especially if they want to use a space monster rather than Space Godzilla. What's going on, Entertainment Headquarters? What's going on, Doomslayer? So yeah, and that's why I made that thumbnail. The laughing Tom Cruise is a meme that I think it's fucking ridiculous. Like, I'm not, now with that said, I'm not totally against the idea of Space Godzilla being in the movie. I want to make that clear, because if there's anyone who can make Space Godzilla look good, it's Legendary. They look, say what you want about their movies. I get it. Not everybody's a fan. All good. But you have to admit, they make the monsters look badass. Even Scar King, who I was not a fan of when I first saw him in the trailer, when I actually saw him in action and actually moving and his mannerisms, I said, damn, this is a pretty badass monkey. You know, you look at Shimo, very, very beautiful design. So if nothing else, if Space Godzilla is in the movie, he's going to look badass. I mean, I feel pretty confident about that. Where I have a problem is, how are you going to bring him in? Despite all the Easter eggs ever since King of the Monsters and all that, there's been no indication of anything coming from space. If you look at the teaser trailer we just got earlier, was it this year? When we got the teaser, if you remember the New Empire teaser trailer, right? Remember, everybody had all these theories, but it literally was exactly what they pitched in that teaser. It was Scar King. He was clearly in the teaser trailer, sitting on the throne in the same kind of aesthetic in terms of the lighting as it was in the movie when they first came upon him. So if you take the trailers at face value, the first teaser for New Empire was exactly what we got in the movie. So if you follow that trend, if you look at the first teaser for Supernova and you take it at face value, there is absolutely zero evidence of anything in space or any Space Godzilla. If anything, what it's telling you in that teaser is something's happening in the Hollow Earth again. That makes sense. Why? We've been exploring the Hollow Earth for the past 3 movies, and furthermore, they've been going into the Hollow Earth more in the Monarch TV show. So to focus so much on the Hollow Earth and all the recent programming that they've given us, and then suddenly shift into outer space out of nowhere without any context or any reason, you get what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta follow the trend. Well, my thoughts for the future Monsterverse
You are one
film
awesome
is that Godzilla and
motherfucker.
Kong will
Bobby
die.
Reynolds super chatted $10. My fan theory of Godzillasaurus from Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah turn into Godzillasaurus from Godzilla -1 and turn into Godzilla from -1, 1954 and other Toho Godzillas.
Turn into Godzillasaurus from Godzilla -1 and then turn... Oh, okay. I could... Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Jedi, I think you're half right. I think Godzilla will definitely die at some point. I don't think Kong will die. And the reason I say that is because if they ever decided to do the Monsterverse again, or if they wanted to continue it without Godzilla, you have Kong. But if you kill them both, then you kill the franchise. And right now, they don't have a reason to kill the franchise. Right now, if you look at everything from 2014 to now, the second best cinematic universe in the movie industry is the Monsterverse behind Marvel. It's actually surpassed DC. Now, not in terms of revenue, but in terms of relevance and staying power, yeah. And in terms of percentage, it has outperformed DC. Overall gross money, DC's made more because they've had more movies, and more movies gives you a bigger chance to gross a higher income, which a lot of their movies did do, anywhere between 6, 7, 8. I don't know which. Aquaman hit $1 billion. Was there any other movie that hit $1 billion besides Aquaman? Anyway, it doesn't matter because they're irrelevant. But so right now they don't have a reason to end the Monsterverse. And I think at some point they might want to stop it, maybe take a break, you know, kind of leave on a high note. But if they ever want to revisit it and they don't have the rights to Godzilla anymore, then they got Kong. Take that, you dinosaur, superb writing. Joker hit $1 billion, right? That's true. Yeah. The Monsterverse only has Kong and Godzilla, so if they die, it's over. I would love other people's standalone monsters to join Gamera, Pacific Rim, but that's not where we're at right now. Yeah. Wasn't there something Pacific Rim related happening? Wasn't there going to be a show or something? Is there a show coming? I feel like I heard something about Pacific Rim making a comeback, but not in a movie. Somebody help me out here. I'm completely out of the loop in a lot of things. Amazon prequel show. Okay. Oh, that'll be, yeah, I hope they do good with that. I've seen I Am Mother. It's okay. It's pretty good. Think it's an anime? Well, I hope it's better or at least equal to the footing of The Black. They have a comic coming out that's supposed to be a sequel. Yeah, I don't think Legendary's ready to give up on Pacific Rim yet, but I think they want to probably slow drip it back into the public. Instead of investing so much in a movie, like do an anime. No, I did catch up on some Marvel movies that I didn't see. So I saw the Thunderbolts. That was okay. I saw Captain America, Brave New World. That was horrendous. Jesus, I liked Anthony Mackie, man, but yeah, man, I don't think you can cut it as the problem is he doesn't have the super soldier serum. There's no fucking way he should have stood his ground against Red Hulk. I saw that and I'm like, this is impossible. I mean, even the hits he was taking, despite the fact he was shielded, but he's still flying like 30 or 40 yards and falling on his back. It's like, that dude should be in a hospital right now. Yeah, Fantastic Four is the only one I haven't seen yet. A Hulk movie featuring Captain America without Hulk. Or without Captain America. What else did I see recently? I think those were the only two. Because I had signed up for a free trial for the ESPN. I had done it for 1 week so I could watch WrestlePalooza with my son. And I decided to catch some Marvel movies that I had missed. And those were the only two I had missed recently, so I checked them out. Yeah, it's weird. I didn't know Doomsday's coming out next Christmas. And they not announced, but there's rumor that the first trailer is going to be in front of Avatar, which makes sense. Yeah, the World Series was great. That was a lot of fun to watch, even though my team wasn't in it. But I was going for the Jays. But man, it was a good series. Yeah, Spider-Man 4 sounds crazy because they're going to have the Hulk and the Punisher. I don't know how they're going to do that. Here's a question for you. What if they bring in Megalon in the next film? And if so, why not bring in Jet Jaguar into the mix? Megalon makes more sense to me because literally you could say he's from the Hollow Earth. He's a giant roach. He'd look a lot different. Because, I mean, even though he's technically a roach, when you look at Megalon, I don't think roach. But technically, he's supposed to be a roach. So I think that's a possibility. Jet Jaguar is a little different because now, I mean, obviously they proved they can build giant robots with Mechagodzilla, right? But if you do Jet Jaguar, it's not going to be the kind of Jet Jaguar that you got in a movie from Toho. It's not going to be like a two-man team built this robot that can suddenly grow like 100 feet, 200 feet. It'll be a robot like built by Apex or Monarch, and it probably won't be a good guy. But again, I don't see it just from a production mindset. Like, why am I investing money in these two things? Like, what am I gonna benefit? Are these two? If I invest $8 million in these two monsters, right? Is that going to be enough to turn the corner? Is that going to be enough to put me over the top? My movies have been profiting, averaging maybe $20 or $30 million in profit. If I take $8 million in my profits and invest in these two monsters, am I going to see a return? Well, we already saw that taking 3 of Toho's top monsters did not translate into profits. It actually translated into a flop. Now I assess, I have been creating my own monsters. I don't have to spend the money to get another monster. And if I do, I can spend very little to spot them in the movie. They don't have to be the centerpiece, a la Mothra, a la Mechagodzilla. And I can do it as a nice little Easter egg without having to, you know, but I think Mothra is a good investment. I think they've kind of figured that out. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if you see her again. But beyond that, I think they're doing good with their monsters. I don't see them making, the only monster I could possibly see them investing the money to bring over would be Destroyer. I think that's the last of the Mohicans for the Toho monsters. Like, if Space Godzilla's in this next movie, I would thoroughly be shocked. It's surprising to me how convinced a lot of people are that he's going to be in the movie, because it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any business sense. I've always wanted to know how much Legendary had to pay to use a Toho monster. It's got to be. I'm sure the rate changes depending on who the monster is. Obviously, I'm sure they put a buttload of money to front for Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan in 2019. I have a feeling the way they used actually, I kind of feel like you saw more of Mothra in the New Empire than you did in King of the Monsters, or at least equal to. But again, one Mothra versus Mothra, Rodan, and Ghidorah, I mean, that's a much cheaper price to pay. And it's funny because Destroyer is a one-off monster as well, right? But seems to be the one-off monster that has the most popularity pull. James Gunn disproved the break-even flop thing, didn't he? Not that I know of. But I mean, when you consider how poorly his DC Universe is performing, do you expect him to be honest? You think he's going to go out and tell you, yeah, it's true? So, of course not. I wouldn't look. When there's a director or an actor or anybody on a project and they come out and they have nothing but beautiful things to say about what they're doing, that's propaganda. They're gonna say that. they're not going to say anything negative. So, you know, it's been common knowledge now that there is the initial investment in making a project, the investment in marketing the project, and the return on the project once it's released. That's been common knowledge for years. So for him, if he's the only one in the last 50 years to come out and say otherwise, the only one, do you think he's telling the truth? I don't see how DCU is performing that poorly, though. Dude, look at the numbers. The new Superman movie made, what, $20 million less than Man of Steel, and Man of Steel was over 10 years old. So when you consider inflation, Man of Steel outperformed the new Superman movie by miles. That's not good. You're supposed to go up. Not, you know, and after I saw the Superman movie, I could understand why. Like I said, there were some things I loved about the movie. I'm a big Superman fan, but I watched it and I kept thinking to myself, why do these other characters need to be here? Like, this is Superman. When the fuck does Superman need help? Like, honestly, when you really think about what Superman is capable of, and this was a very neutered Superman. You know, like I like the drama effect in terms of him fighting and having a challenge, but it wasn't as impactful to me as in Man of Steel, because Man of Steel, he's fighting other Kryptonians, so it's like an even playing field. The only difference was that Superman and Man of Steel had an advantage because he's been on Earth longer. Now, what I like about the new Superman is it's a little bit more of the classic 70s, a little bit more hopeful, a little bit more, but there's also good reason for that. So one of my arguments about Man of Steel that I've always made, and I've always been consistent about this, is everybody complained about how gloomy he was and how he wasn't very optimistic. And well, think about how that story's told. This is Superman right in the early stages before he even dons the suit. So there is a lot of conflict knowing that you are so powerful, but you're not sure what to do with it, especially after what happened with your father. Your father believed in keeping your powers a secret, and his convictions were so strong, he was willing to die to protect that secret. So that's a hard decision to make when you finally come into adulthood and you have to make a decision if you want to change the world by revealing yourself. And then on top of that, because this is Superman coming out for the first time, you're going to have a lot of detractors. You're going to have people scared of him. You're going to have people wanting. So yeah, that makes sense. Why would he be the happy-go-lucky Superman that we are used to when, like, in James Gunn Superman, he's been around for what, 3 years already, 4 years already? So there's a little bit of nuance there. Look at that. It was actually a lot more than I thought. So Superman made 615, Man of Steel made 670. And so it outperformed, Man of Steel outperformed Superman. And it's a movie that came out in what, 2012? And this Superman came out, what, earlier this year, 2025? So that's a 13-year gap. And when you take into account inflation, Man of Steel pulverized Superman. 2013. So yeah, 12, still 12 years, right? I was wrong. Still 12 years, so. I was hoping Supernova meant more amazing Godzilla center stages, plot similar to Godzilla vs. Destroyer. Godzilla is dying and going to explode, and there's a subplot with Kong discovering a threat. The problem is that they already did Burning Godzilla. And when they did Burning Godzilla, they already kind of, I mean, I guess they can do it again, but they kind of blew their load in the sense that they did Burning Godzilla, and Burning Godzilla was no threat to himself. Because he obviously survived it like there was no tomorrow. Look, we all know that Legendary Godzilla is super OP, right? This is what I think. If I had to throw caution to the wind and just guess out of that little teaser we got, this is what I think. I think Supernova is about the energy source in the Hollow Earth is about to erupt, about to explode. And because it's not an actual star in the Hollow Earth, but it's an energy source that gives an effect like a sun, and it's going to explode, that would, in effect, be kind of like a supernova. It could be caused by a new monster. It could be caused by human interference now that they've discovered the Hollow Earth. Obviously, it's probably going to be a monster. Yeah, I don't. Just because it's called supernova doesn't mean it's Space Godzilla. Supernova, if you want to get technical, means a dying star that explodes. So it kind of makes more sense to me when you look at the teaser, and the teaser is showing that there's something going on in the Hollow Earth in Arizona. So that's just my early theory without any context. That could only be done with Mothra powers transferred into Godzilla. I don't know if it was necessarily Mothra. Oh, there goes my camera again. By the way, I did figure out this problem, but it's gonna have to wait another week or so because I have to get a new charger. It turned out it's the battery pack that's fucking this thing up. Give me a second. All right, see how long that can last. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. I think the Burning Godzilla I think they used that card too soon. It's not to say they can't do it again, but yeah, that really pissed me off, John. When I saw the movie and Jor-El turned out to be an asshole, I was like, man, that's just not cool. What about the pink energy that Tiamat was absorbing from the sun? Yeah, but I don't. Well, I guess. What do you mean? Like, you think that it had something to do with hurting the sun? I don't think. I think if Tiamat absorbing solar energy was affecting the sun, they would have detected that. I don't think when they said that, I don't think they meant it in such a way like, oh my God, he's draining the sun's power. I think it was more like he's like a solar panel, like, which is why he was where he was. It was the best spot on Earth to draw solar energy, but I don't think he was drawing it to a point where it was going to destroy the star. If Tiamat had the power to drain the sun to the point where it dies, I think he would have had a bigger role. That's a pretty powerful effect. I mean, the Decepticons needed a whole machine and a key to do that. Tiamat laying on an iceberg, killing a star would have been crazy. Yeah. Revenge of the Fallen. Yeah, yeah. I actually just recently watched that movie. I went on, what was it? I used my VPN to watch SmackDown. Well, not watch it. just kind of scroll through it and see all the highlights. And then I actually started watching the first Transformers movie, which I hadn't watched in a long time. I had so much fun watching that. Oh my God, I forgot how much I enjoyed that movie. Full power armor by the last film? Maybe. He still has the axe. Revenge of the Fallen has some pretty cool moments. Actually, watching it again, I was like, you know what? Like, this is actually not as bad as I remember it. Still not nearly as good as the first one or the third one, which is the best one in the franchise. But it was just the worst of the first three. Then everything after that was kind of going downhill. Like, it's so funny how much they change in terms of how they look. Like, in the first two movies, they literally look like machines transforming into robots, so that you can see all the car parts and all that. Then by the time you got to Age of Extinction, they looked much sleeker. They actually had faces and all that shit. I still think the Beast Wars one, Rise of the Beast, I think it's called. It's so unfortunate that one didn't do well, because that's literally one of the best Transformers movies they've made. And I was so hooked on the whole G.I. Joe connection. Now we're not going to get it because the movie didn't perform well. Oh, man. Yeah, one man alone, betrayed by the country he loves. Shut up, man. Stop saying that. You're not alone. I'm right here. It's way better than the Last Night was horrendous. I saw The Last Night once, and that's all I needed. I've never seen it again. Like Age of Extinction, I like it because of the Dinobots. That's like one of those, but even that one, like, it's so long. But I also like the enemy in that one. What is it? I forget his name. He turns his gun into a face, and then he turns into a BMW or something. Dude, but Dark of the Moon is the fucking best one, man. I think I'm gonna watch that one tonight. Yeah, but dude, I don't think they're gonna do the G.I. Joe crossover, because I haven't heard. Yeah, Lockdown. Thanks, man. I don't think they're gonna do the I think because the movie didn't perform well in the box office, I think they scrapped it. Was it a Lamborghini? Okay. Yeah, Lockdown was a very cool enemy. I liked him a lot. The Last Night was the first movie I contemplated walking out of. I don't blame you. They're going to do an M-rated cartoon based on the new Transformers G.I. Joe comics from Robert Kirkman. Oh, well, that's cool. But I really wanted to see it in live action. Oh, God. Is this really going to happen every 2 minutes? Jesus Christ. Yeah, and Hot Rod turned out to be some French. Oh, it was so bad. Every time I reset this, I gotta mess with the zoom again. Yeah, I remember Hot Rod. Sorry, guys. First payday, I'm going to get a new battery pack so we don't have to deal with this shit anymore. Revenge of the Fallen was Lawrence of Arabia compared to The Last Night. The Revenge of the Fallen should have swept the Oscars compared to The Last Night. Transformers 1 is the only one I haven't seen yet. Yeah, I'm going to be popping the hood, it looks like, every 10 minutes for the next hour. Sorry about that. They're doing the 3 Transformer movies, one by Michael Bay, one done by the director of Transformers 1, one by G.I. Joe crossover. Is that confirmed? They need to bring... look, I know people hate Michael Bay, but they got to bring Michael Bay back for the Transformers, man. That shit was, oh my God. So I'm watching both the movies last night. All I could think about was how cool the military scenes are. Like in the first movie when they're fighting Scorponok in the desert and they're getting, all the military is getting ready to take flight and the music's all, like the music is dope. And then you see the guys getting into the planes and then the gunship comes by. I mean, you gotta get Michael Bay back on this shit, man. You really do. Because that's something that they lost after the third movie. You know, because in the fourth movie, they made it so that the government's now chasing and killing Transformers. And then the fifth movie was like, whatever. Hey, big girl. Wanna come say hi? Wanna come say hi? Come here. Oh. You guys can't see her. She's right underneath the camera. Yeah, big girl. Like he's been working on a script. Good. Just bring back the military to team up with the Transformers. That's what made it so dope. Like in the second movie when they airdrop Optimus out of the fucking plane. Oh my God, that's so cool. Michael Bay could do an amazing Helldivers movie. Michael Bay is, I don't care what anyone says, man. He is a gift to movies. All the memes about explosions aside, man, there's not too many Michael Bay movies I don't like. Well, you grabbed Transformers last night, DVD, and you put it in your bed and start smashing it with a baseball bat, and you knock it to the floor and use the whole couch to smash DVD. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I didn't watch it on DVD, though. It was on Netflix. I just happened to hit play. Yeah, I do too. Michael Bay Transformers movie were the shit. We need more patriotism back. Hell yeah. I love watching all those planes and gunships in the Transformers movies. It was so good. I did see Ambulance. It was pretty good. That's with Jake Gyllenhaal, right? The desert fight scene with Scorponok and Transformer gives me so much testosterone. I love watching it. I know, right? Yeah. That's the best scene to watch before you have sex. So that way, testosterone is at an all-time high. You can go for hours after watching that scene. Girl comes up to you like, baby, I want to get intimate tonight. You're like, all right, give me 20 minutes. You pop on that scene, you're good to go. That music, the fucking gunship blasting down on Scorponok. Oh man, so good. Do you want to see Godzilla fight another monster in a -1 sequel, bro? Danger! What's going on, bro? Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. You know what I mean? I always like the Godzilla battles. I'm not against it. I would like to see them try something new. You know, I'm not against seeing like a Ghidorah or Smog Monster or whatever. I know a lot of people theorizing Smog Monster from the picture, but I'd like to see something new. You know what I'm saying? It's good to see you drop in, man. Yeah, bring the rain. That was the line, Mr. L. I love that. Fun fact, I fell asleep during the first Mission Impossible film. Fun fact, I've never seen any of the Mission Impossible movies. They used it again when the Taco Jets were taken off to intercept Devastator. Yes, they did. My favorite scene in Transformers 07 is Optimus Prime fighting Bone Crusher. Yeah, on the highway. Yeah, that's a great scene. But honestly, my favorite highway scene is from Dark of the Moon when they're trying to get back, when they're trying to escort Sentinel Prime back to base. And those three, oh my God, that highway scene is dope, especially the music with it. Hey, big girl. I know, I've heard so many good things. I don't know why. I tried watching the first one and I could never get into it. Yeah, Anthony Anderson when he's... That means I'm not guilty. I like how he takes one bite And then they cut the scene and there's like 2 half donuts left. And he's like, want a piece of that? And I'm like, how the fuck did he eat like 12 donuts in like a matter of 2 seconds? I mean, I know us fat people can put it down, but let's not get crazy. We still take our time. At least I do. Besides, what would you be without me, Prime? Time to find out. Yep. I'm not against Angerus or something new for Minus Zero. Favorite live action Transformers scene is Optimus fighting Decepticons in Revenge of the Fallen. Right before he died. Yeah, that is a dope scene. I don't know about Michael Bay doing a Godzilla movie as a whole, but he could definitely direct some great fight scenes with the military. Yes. Oh my God. If you did a solo Godzilla versus the military movie, Michael Bay's your man. Hell yeah. I love that scene in Dark of the Moon where Optimus Prime goes full rage, killing all those Decepticons and destroys Shockwave, telling him, "You die." Yeah. Optimus Prime always had a lot of great, like, epic moments in all the movies. If you watch the first movie, though, you'll notice that Megatron kicks his ass. He doesn't get on him. He doesn't really get a good shot on him. That's the one movie where Optimus was like, yeah, he just didn't kind of put on the show. I love how he killed, I love the fight he has with Scourge. Is it Scourge? From Jesus Christ. I forget the subtitle of it, The Beast. You guys know which movie I'm talking about. Rise of the Beast, is it? The way he kills, is it Scourge? Scourge that he kills, right? That fight that they had on the bridge when he's trying to, when they're trying to stop the key. Yeah, that fight scene is really good. Oh yeah, when he comes around, all the Autobots retreat. I would say he got his biggest nerf from the third movie on, though, because in the second movie, he was actually fine up until the Fallen showed up, and then he was kissing the Fallen's ass. Yeah, poor Jazz. They made him more stronger because of the complaint of getting his ass kicked in 07, and that's how we got Murder Prime. Give me your face. Yeah, I rise, you fall. Yep. When the guy is running from the cops in the first one and runs through the glass door, always gets me. Running from the cops in the first one. I'm trying to remember. You talk about the first movie when the guy is running from the cops. Oh yeah, and they tackle him into the pool. Yes, that is fucking hilarious. Yeah, Ratchet was a good death. That's what makes Dark of the Moon so good, because it was the most darkest movie they made. I mean, when the Decepticons invaded Chicago and the way they were killing people, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is pretty dark, man. This is supposed to be for kids? The cousin, right? When he tackles, yeah, they tackle him through the glass window, and then... No, he runs through the glass window, and then they tackle him into the pool. Yeah, when Ratchet died, that sucked. Oh, yeah, that's right. Ironhide died in Dark of the Moon. Ratchet got killed by Lockdown. But it was sad the way the humans were shooting him. They shot his leg off and all that. And then later on, you see them like melting down his face when they're making the other prototypes with the transformium. Especially police. Grimlock actually speaking and Galvatron looking more menacing. Galvatron looked funny. He did. But that line he says to Prime, though, when Prime is like, "You've got no soul," and then he's like, "That is why I have no fear." That I like. That was a good line. Optimus had a valid crash out when he stormed the KSI in AoE. You talk about when he went to the factory and he saw what they were doing. Yeah, he was pissed. He was definitely pissed. Had every right to be. They're melting down his old colleagues or his old, friends and making prototypes. The only thing that disappointed me about the Dinobots, because I thought they looked good and they were correctly portrayed to be as big as they were, but they didn't talk. Starscream is the king. I really wish Rise of the Beast had Dinobot, but considering their props not continuing the story, it absolutely sucks we won't get an actual Dinobot live action version. Yeah, man. Yeah, because if they had the Dinobots in Rise of the Beast, you would have gotten a more traditional look, which let's face it, I mean, that's the badass look. I'm so surprised that movie didn't perform well because it was one of the best Transformer movies they ever made. To me, it's Dark of the Moon, Rise of the Beast, the first Transformers, Age of Extinction, Revenge of the Fallen, and then the last one would be, I haven't seen Transformers 1 yet, but I'm assuming it'd probably be in the top 3 as well. Yeah, Starscream, they did better with Starscream by Dark of the Moon. He was more like Starscream, but he had a lot of badass moments. I just never liked the way he looked. He was so wide, like he just had a wide body. I appreciate the fact that Michael Bay tried to ground the fact that they're transforming from machines into robots. So there's certain parts that have to look anatomically correct. Where in a cartoon, they obviously bend the truth a little bit, but Dark of the Moon's mega. Oh, you're talking about Last Night? Last Night he did look better. The flying Dorito. Well, the 86 one I try not to put in those ranks because that was so many years earlier. But I still love the 86. I'll still watch it from time to time. I actually got to see that in the theater. Rob, I also love that awesome scene of Starscream destroy all those jets in the first movie. Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I may not have liked the way he looked, but he had a lot of badass moments. How about when he blew up the rocket in Dark of the Moon? It was dope the way they did it. They had like a up close shot of him, and then he transforms and takes off and just blows up the rocket, thinking that the Autobots are in it. What's going on, Slick Rick? Yeah, Starscream had a lot of dope moments. Oh, I'm sure it was. It probably was. I never had Transformed. I'm trying to remember if I ever bought my son a Michael Bay Transformer, because I remember he's got a lot of Transformers, but I always bought him the old school, like the Generation 1 remakes. I always bought him those. I never bought him the new ones. So I don't know how they were to transform. Yeah, the Last Night was terrible. I'm going to watch it again just because I almost don't remember anything about it. Yeah, even though Devastator didn't look like he did in the cartoon, the fact that they pulled that off was amazing. I'm directly underneath the robot scrotum. Yeah, the enemy scrotum. There it is. It's me and Childish were on the same wavelength there. Oh, did they? I never noticed that. Oh, Optimus. Yeah, yeah. What was his line? Was it uh Maximals? Was it Maximals? Maximize? Was that what it was? I like the fact that they waited to the end to have the Maximals transform into their robot form. I like how they were in beast form the whole movie. Yeah, I mean visually that's not the issue with those movies. Like the problem with one of the biggest problems for me with The Last Night was Hot Rod. How he was just like a French, what was he, like a fucking butler? It was so stupid. I was like, what? Yeah. Devastator was so complicated that a few render farms melted down to render him for IMAX. Really? That's crazy. Well, that was the thing with Bay. Like, I give him credit for trying to ground them, which is why they look the way they look. That's why like Soundwave was a satellite, and then he turned into a Mercedes. Yeah, I remember him explaining how trying to CGI something so big turning into something so small. Like, I think they attempted it, and it was really complicated. It didn't look right, and it would always like not pixelate. It would like when you see a game and something's pointing out of a like if you're playing a character and there's like these little points coming out of it. I forget what that's called, but he said that was one of the problems. The French Lambo, thank you. See, that's why I haven't seen it in a while. Yeah, the Laserbeak was badass. Oh, there's my camera again. Yeah, Laserbeak was badass, and even in Revenge of the Fallen, Ravage. I like the way they did Ravage. I thought he was Deep Wang. Yeah, he was funny in that movie. Bass sound wave design is cool, but I hate his face. Yeah, he did the best he could with him. A lot of people were upset about that he couldn't make him a radio. But you know, there were a lot of I mean, you think about it, Shockwave was a weird. That's the only thing about Dark of the Moon that I thought was weird was Shockwave, because he didn't transform into anything, and he had almost no connection to the Decepticons. He was completely separate from them. Like, he had no interaction with Megatron. He had no interaction with Sentinel Prime. He had no interaction with any of the other Decepticons. He was just there. I'm surprised Bumblebee ripping the spine out didn't cause a rating issue, but it's okay. He bled green goo. Well, that's the thing, right? So in Hollywood, if you could have violent scenes if there's no blood, like I heard a review for Predator Badlands where I guess there's a scene where a bunch of synthetics get they get murdered, and it's very violent, but because they're like bleeding white oil or fluid or whatever, they didn't get an R. Yeah, Frenzy was cool, even though he wasn't what Frenzy was, but I actually liked Frenzy. Yeah, there's. I gotta watch it again. I haven't seen The Last Night in a long. Like I said, I saw it that one time and that was enough. But now I think I'm gonna watch it again just to see if I can pull out anything positive from it. Probably not, which is why I never watched it again. Danger, do you wanna see Godzilla fight a monster in the Minus Zero? Yeah, technology is always gonna have glitches, man. It better. That's the only way I can have a job. I miss how badass Barricade was for how few scenes he had, and he left it. Well, if you go back and watch the first movie, when I was watching it last night, I couldn't believe how excited I was to see that chase scene between Barricade and Bumblebee. Like when Barricade first transformed, "Are you username Ladies Man 217?" I'm like, oh my god, this is so fucking great. I haven't seen this in so long. I'm like, oh my god, I missed this movie. You want to do a last night watch along? Maybe next weekend. Maybe next weekend we can do it. Maybe next Saturday. I'll stream Friday. I was going to stream yesterday, but I was really tired. Because after I got out of work, then I had to do some food shopping. So by the time I got home, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to chill. Too bad his design doesn't make any sense. To be fair, though, a lot of lore logic in that movie just went out of the window. What did he transform into in that movie? In The Last Night, what did Megatron transform into? Is The Last Night the one where he negotiates with the military to free some of his Decepticons? An alien jetting, so like the first movie. Okay, so that is the one. Okay, I remember something. One of the stupidest things in Last Night was Megatron asking for his crew in that Suicide Squad intro episode. Oh, I remember that. I really gotta watch that movie again now. That you said it, and I just remembered it. Cause yeah, that was part of that whole sequence. Maybe a title of a ranting watch along Transformers Last Night. Maybe. Are you username Ladies Man 217? They all die like the next scene? Yeah. Where is he? Item 21153. Where are the glasses? Oh man, damn. How the hell did this go from a Godzilla stream to a Transformers stream? That's cool though. I like reminiscing on all the Transformer movies. It's so good. They were good. If the rumors are true and it is Hedorah and the monster that Godzilla fights, then I hope they give him a horror kind of vibe to it. I think they would. And if it's Hedorah, it does make some sense when you consider all the radiation. Godzilla, I mean, because again, in Godzilla Minus One, they obviously wanted his atomic breath to mean something devastating, and it has a very nuclear bomb effect. So I would think the fallout could definitely cause the existence of Smog Monster. I know the ending of The Last Night sucks because it was like the world is Unicron, but that's still better than, by the way, G.I. Joe is a thing. Aren't you excited? Well, to be honest, Danger, yeah, I was excited for G.I. Joe at the end of The Rise of the Beast. I find that cliffhanger to be much better than Unicron being the Earth, in my opinion. When I first saw that and that thing coming out of the ground and they were talking about Unicron, I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? When an alien cop interrogates you about eBay before the FBI does. That is funny. No, don't apologize. I love Transformers, and I've always been an advocate for the Bay films. I really have. Like, I was an advocate for them when they weren't popular. I think everything just tends to age better sometimes. I kind of feel like a lot of people miss those movies. And with good reason. They were a lot of fun. There was action packed. And Michael Bay does a great job incorporating military into his movies, man. You look at those, look at the first 3 Transformers movies if you haven't watched them in a while, and just see how much, especially the first 2 movies. I have preferred, here's T-Rex, Megatron, and Raptor Dinobot. T-Rex, Megatron, and Raptor Dinobot? That's what you would have preferred? All I want from Minus Zero is continuity with consequences similar to Godzilla 84, Godzilla vs. Biollante. That was the one thing that was one of the reasons I didn't want a direct -1 sequel, because I just felt it was such a good one-off movie. That's not to say that they can't make a good sequel, but I mean that's a tough act to follow, what he did in the first movie. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Just got done with dinner, yeah. It's supposed to be darker than the first one. Well, depending if it picks up directly after the first movie, or at least shortly thereafter, then yeah, there's a lot of things that we're going to. I mean, everyone's going to get an answer to the question about what's on her neck. She's probably not going to be the only one affected by it. And oh my God, can you imagine if they all mutate into like little Godzilla humanoids? Like, remember in Shin Gojira when we saw the tail and there was like a humanoid form? Well, imagine now we get that, but they're alive and they're like running around Tokyo. Rumor is he's making a Skibidi Toilet movie, which I think is a bullshit cover for his new Transformers movie. I don't know if that's bullshit. I've heard that there's been a Skibidi Toilet movie. If anyone's gonna do a Skibidi Toilet movie, it's gonna be Michael Bay. With all the shit they do in those little shorts, I'm a little worried if Minus Zero can live up to the hype, because unlike the first movie, there are heavy expectations for this one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a tough act to follow. Do you think Michael Bay is able to do it again with the upcoming movie, or will it be another dud like Last Night? Did he even do The Last Night? I don't remember. Maybe he did. I'm sure he'll learn his lesson from that. The good thing is if they're doing a new timeline, then he gets to start from scratch. He doesn't have to scale up. The problem with the Transformers series is that, for lack of a better term, it was power creep. So if I'll fix the camera in a second. If Michael Bay had kept all the movies to the same level as the first 3 movies, I think he would have been fine. Oh my God, that battery pack can't come soon enough. I'm going to order it on Thursday. They did, yeah. Well, they don't need Valve. They can just use other assets that look similar. They don't need to go to Valve to get that. I think by The Last Night, he was probably tired of doing them. Plus, Shia LaBeouf was really good for those movies. Like, I like Mark Wahlberg, but he wasn't as exciting to have in those movies as Shia. Rob, thoughts on GTA 6 being delayed? I started laughing when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, I can imagine all the pissed off people. But you know what? It's better that they keep delaying it until it's ready. Look what happened to Cyberpunk, which one of my favorite games, of course, but I'm not going to defend the fact that they fucked up their launch. And Cyberpunk's a great game, but it took them a while to finally fix it. So you get it right the first time. You know, I know people are impatient, but it's not going to change. They're still going to buy the game, whether the game comes out tomorrow or next year. So let them bitch and moan. Just keep letting it cook. Yeah. Yeah, John Turturro was great in those movies. He's just a great actor in general. John Turturro can do comedy and he can do drama. One of the first movies I saw him in, it was a comedy movie called Brain Donors. Oh my God, he is fucking hilarious in that movie. If there's a launch hadn't been so rough, the game would have been so much. Well, think about it. It's still one of the top selling games of all time, despite that launch. That's, you know, but that's also thanks in part to the anime that gave it a second life, because people saw the anime and they wanted to go play the game, and then shortly thereafter, Jesus Christ, what was the name of the fucking expansion? Phantom Liberty. And Phantom Liberty was excellent expansion. We get Godzilla Minus Zero before GTA 6. In Japan, you will. Yeah, probably. Rob, do you think GTA 6 will have woke elements in the game? No, I don't think so. One of its selling points is the fact that it's a bunch of degenerates in that game. If they put any of that shit in there, it's not gonna. Well, it'll still do well, but you'll get a lot of people complaining. I don't expect that. They have a formula that works for those games. They're not going to stray away from that no matter what people say. It probably will, Jonesy. You're probably right. I'm glad that Transformers added the Dinobots in the movies. Always loved Grimlock. I wish he got more screen time. I wish he actually spoke. Yeah, Edge Runners is really good. I actually was surprised how good it was when I watched it. I was like, wow, this is really good. But what makes it good is that it reflects what the game is like. The game is very much the same way. You know, in Night City, all you get is shit. You have dreams, and the only way you could become a legend in Night City is dying. I heard we're getting a G.I. Joe crossover for the next movie. I hope so. I'm of the belief that they're not going to do it because Rise of the Beast didn't perform well. Oh, the game story is excellent. Especially if you play it with Phantom Liberty, it makes it even more impactful, depending on which ending you go for. There's one ending that's really bittersweet. Really bittersweet. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't played, but if you get a chance to play Cyberpunk, I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite games of all time, which is crazy because I'm not a Cyberpunk genre fan. Like, in fact, I got more into Cyberpunk genre because of Cyberpunk. Like, after Cyberpunk, I actually watched Blade Runner, both movies, for the first time ever. I had never seen Blade Runner before I played Cyberpunk. And then after that, I was trying to look into other Cyberpunk. Like, there's a game coming out called Nivalis, which is a Cyberpunk game. I have it on my wish list. Like, yeah, Cyberpunk never. Yeah, if you play the original before Phantom Liberty, like without the expansion, there's one ending that is probably the best ending, but it doesn't really resolve your problem. It just makes you hopeful, but it's not a resolution. So that one's kind of like the best thing you can get. But every other, there's some of the endings are fucked up. But then you got the ending. Well, again, I don't want to spoil it. I've had all the endings, so. Oh yeah, yeah. That ending for yeah. Are you what was it she called him? Something Joe? When the big ad called him Joe, and that was that's what she called him. When he had his own personal like digital wife, she would call him Joe. And then he sees the ad and it's her, and then he kind of realizes, that it was programmed that way, not necessarily something that was special. Or I guess they kind of left it somewhat ambiguous, but yeah, Blade Runner 2 is really good. Blade Runner 1 was good too. I got to see that one. You know what, Severio? I still have the save, and I was actually thinking about that the other day. If you guys want me, I have not played that save file ever since we played last time. You look like a good Joe. That's what it was. Thank you, Jonesy. So yeah, if enough people want me to finish that playthrough, I will for sure. You're right, Childish. Unfortunately, you're very right. Yeah, we got to finish it. All right, we'll finish it. So how about this? We'll do it maybe next. So I'll plan for an extended stream next Saturday. We'll do the playthrough. I'll probably have to take a break around 7 so I can walk my dog. But yeah, we'll finish it next week. We'll do like an extended stream. So we'll do like we'll do like a double shift, like maybe 6 hours, and we'll spend some of it chilling, and then we'll spend like 4 hours playing. Yeah, that sounds good. I haven't played Cyberpunk in a while anyway, so it'll be fun. They've updated the game twice since last I've played, so there's a lot of new elements in it. So I want to check that out too. Yeah, no problem, Trilosophy. All right, so I'm gonna tap out here, guys. I know it's a little early, but as you can see, my camera's giving me issues. So while it's still working, I kind of want to leave on a high note. But yeah, we'll get together next Friday and Saturday. We'll start streaming like normal again now that I'm feeling better. My spirits are lifted, so I'm much more motivated to get back on here and do content again. I'm gonna need some time to plan videos. It's been a while since I've done videos, so I kind of need to know where I'm gonna start. I think I have an idea for at least one video, but from there I want to kind of think of some things, and yeah. So, but look, I appreciate you guys coming through. I wasn't expecting much, because I haven't been on in a while, but I'm glad you guys came through. So we'll be back here next Friday live. Saturday we'll do a long stream. We haven't done a long stream in a while. We'll do some chilling. We'll finish. Well, I don't know if we'll finish the playthrough, but we'll get another chunk of it done because we were just starting Phantom Liberty when I saved it that last time, and we were going to do Phantom Liberty and then go to the end of the game. And Phantom Liberty is pretty long. I would say it's about a good 8 hour campaign. But yeah, we'll definitely do it up. And we'll just, get back to normal, you know what I mean? Get back to doing what we normally do. Streaming at least twice a week. I'll try to get at least 1 or 2 videos up a week for you guys. And yeah, man, I'm just happy that the year is going to end on a positive note. Oh, I was saying, I'm just happy that the year is going to end on a positive note now that I'm working. And I'm glad to be here talking to you guys again. It's been a while, so I had a lot of fun tonight. So I'm glad you guys came through. I appreciate it. But anyway, look, you guys have a good rest of the weekend, and we'll catch up next week. And yeah, all right, you guys have a good one. Take it easy. I wanted to do something special tonight. something we haven't done in a while. I want to see. Hold on. It's been a long time since we've done this. I said to myself, we should do this for old time's sakes. Oh, hold on here. All right, here we go. Unfortunately, I couldn't find this. Oops.
This is history in the making.
All right, hold on. Here we go. I can't find the normal one.
This is history in the making. Cortez, 23 years old, first woman in the majors.
A drive to left field. He has done it again.
Oh, they changed the cover. That's still good.
This is history in the making.
Better, actually. I just wish I could have found it in widescreen. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. You guys remember this classic? I hope so.
Wait to go. Gabby just can't wait to go.
But won't leave. Not leaving. Look at this dog walk. Whoa, what speed on that dog walk. Redirects a little bit, make sure they get that. Push. Into that tunnel. Nice job. Get to the backside of this jump. Andrea, hang in there. Thought maybe she might have got lost for a quick second.
Gabby has to beat 43.20.
No, that's fine. It's just time. It's just time. Wow. We're taking the long way around everything, it looks like. But this is a young dog.
Through the weave poles.
Motors. Look at
those weaves. Oh. All right. This one might be a little tougher to find. I have to save these, so that way I don't have to go through this again. All right, let's see if I can find the right one. The older ones. All right, I think I found it. Okay, yep, this is it. I'll have to. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. All right, one more. Okay. No way. Okay.
I don't know what this is, but Jay says it's a fucking big sea turtle.
No, look, a baby wheel.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man. Holy shit, we are witnessing a baby fucking wheel right here, dude. Holy shit. That thing is big, Jay. What is that thing? It looks hurt.
I don't know.
That thing looks hurt, Jay. Jay, that thing is hurt, bro. Holy shit, look at this fucking thing. Oh my god, what the fuck is that, bro? Jay, what the fuck is that? Oh man, pull back up, Jay. Come on. Come on, bro. Pull back up, bro. We're seeing some shit we ain't never seen before, kid. Oh my god, that thing looks dead, man. We gotta call the aquarium or something, dude. Oh man, look at this fucking thing. Holy shit. What the fuck is that? Oh man, Jay, it's dead, bro, or something. Oh my God, Jay. Pull right up next to that shit, Jay. Oh man, look at this fucking thing. Oh man. Look at that, Jay. Holy shit. What the fuck is that, kid? You want to try to pull it in? Let's hook it.
Oh my God. That's
oh man, that
classic.
thing's just dead.
What the fuck is that, Jay? All right, one last one I want to add to the mix. All right. If you guys haven't seen these yet, these are a treat. So, all right, let me see if I can find a good one. All right, here we go.
Ricky, just relax for me. I'm going to get you settled for an adjustment.
Okay, Doc, that's good.
Big breath in. Here we go. Deep breath in. And let it out. Little rotation, nice and easy. Okay. And up.
All right, Miss Cooper, just relax your shoulders for me. A little push, okay?
If you say so, dear.
Big breath in. And out. Passen Sie jetzt auf und einatmen, ist sofort vorbei. Und fühlt sich. All right, just relax for me. Deep breath in. Okay. And let it go. You're all good. Just let everything settle. Breathe.
Ricky, just relax for me. I'm going to get you settled for an adjustment.
Okay, Doc.
Let me see if I can find another one.
Good? Hell yeah, my guy.
All right, Mrs. Larkin, steady breaths. We're going with the full tree this time.
Oh, mercy. I'm trusting you, dear.
Big swing, and here we go.
Sweet heavens. That's the straightest
Glad
I've
to
ever...
hear. All right, big breath in for me. 3, 2, 1. Whoa!
Give a fucking center.
The table's done. Hang on, let me get you up. Did it work? I think so.
All right, Mr. Lewis, hold still. Gonna open that thoracic up.
Just do what you gotta do, Doc.
Here we go.
Hey!
One more.
Holy smokes, feels brand new.
Nice and easy. The cart's rolling right along the lats here. Let me know if it feels too heavy.
That's good kind of pressure.
Yep.
Keep it coming.
I'm just gonna rock it a little to open that low back up.
Oh, wow, that not...
All right, Miss. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
And there it
oh,
is.
thank you so much. That took years off my baby.
Glad to hear it. How are you gonna pay today? All right, ready?
This one's going to reset everything.
Whoa! Hey! Oh, my back, my neck! What the hell, bro?
Gonna loosen that spine yet?
My back! What did you do?
No, it's fine. It's alignment.
All right, big breath in for me. 3, 2, 1. Whoa! The table's done. Hang on, let me get you up. 3, 2, and a 1. And this is why I'm not a licensed chiropractor.
All right, Mrs. K, just a little pressure. Don't roll that back, okay? Big breath in. And drop. This one's going to reset everything.
Whoa! 6, 7!
Nice.
Oh, no.
This should hear a pop.
All right.
This should hear a
That's a wrap. Oh, man. I love those. There's so many of them. I was trying to find some of the better ones. But, yeah. That's all right. All right, guys. That's it. You guys have a good rest of the weekend. I'll see you guys next weekend, all right? All right. Take it easy.